Khushbu Oli. She is a RPP Central leader, also the spokesperson for the party. Thank you, Ms. Oli, for joining us on this broadcast. Direct accusations that have been leveled against your party is that you are basically stoking violence, and the fact that King Gyanendra has completely lost ground. No one has essentially forgotten how King Gyanendra was ruling with an iron fist when he had power with him. Today, some argue that he is a spent force in Nepal.
Thank you very much for having me. First of all, I would like to clarify one thing. The recent protest that was organized in Kathmandu only did have the moral support of RPP, and we have our own line of peaceful protests that we have planned for the future. But this protest was done by the Maha Abhiyan, and then RPP had its moral support, and the government-backed repression of this peaceful protest is an unforgivable assault and on the people's fundamental rights. The use of excessive force, including rubber bullets, tear gas, and direct police brutality, has completely exposed the government's desperation to suppress the rising public discontent. And they have been raising this to the king, who has no involvement in all of this protest. It is the direct Nepali people who took to the streets, voicing their frustrations against this failing system. If the protest was backed by the king, or it was supported by the king, the results would not have been like this. But this is just a false claim by the government that this whole protest was done or backed by the king is a false claim by the government.
Ms. Oli, if that's the case, what's the main demand that you, your party, and those who are participating in this entire so-called movement are making at this point in time?
Sorry, I could not hear you properly.
Ms. Oli, help us understand the demands that you are making at this point in time. Of course, given the fact that there is rising unemployment in Nepal, inflation rates are...
We are calling for a new agreement that gives spaces to all stakeholders, including the king. For example, in 2006, if you remember, when Mayor Maoist joined the mainstream politics in interim parliament, it was formed to accommodate, and Maoists were given 82 seats just without any elections. So it is not politically correct that all political issues should be, settled through elections. So our demand is that we want to reinstate the Hindu monarch and Hindu kingdom. And now we are talking about, the government is talking about taking people's mandate. Just for example, in the run-up to the 2016 constitution, people were asked to provide their feedbacks on the draft of the constitution. And it is evident that more than 80% of respondents stood in favor of Hindu state, but Constituent Assembly buried and dumped it. So it was not a democratic way. So we urge the mainstream political parties to go for a fresh agreement and settle the issues without any compromise. Our main demands is Hindu monarch, Hindu state with a constitutional monarch, and the people to have the rights to elect their direct prime minister, end of the federal system, abolition of the federal system, and establishment of good governance in the country. These are our main agendas that we have been voicing for.
Ms. Oli, it seems that you are indicating that the king has no role to play. Having said that, many would find this hard to believe, given the fact that he's trying to make a return to politics right now. And of course, the constitutional amendment that has been made, reversing the constitutional amendment seems to be the underlying factor at this